Hey folks, hope you're doing good today, and apologies if I look a bit rough. Got stung around the eye by a mosquito in the middle of the night. Love it when that happens. Now, I'm an animal lover. I love all animals. I'll move out of the way for an ant rather than step on it needlessly. But when it comes to mosquitoes, no. Let's just get rid of them as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely hate them. Today we got a new guy to the channel. He's got his first official release, so we're going to get on board with him straight away. He's a one-man band from Orlando, Florida. Goes by the name of Sam Majumdar. And this is, as I say, is his first release. It's a guitar playthrough that we're going to check out as well. But what he's done is put on the screen is the scales and the compositional technique that he used to write this track. So we're going to get a bit of a guitar lesson as well in today's video, which is pretty cool. He said he wants to give me a shout out to the Ethrian Machine, who did the mixing and mastering on this. This guy's got a YouTube channel as well where he does backing tracks and stuff. I'll just get it up on the screen so we can have a quick look at it. It's got drumless tracks and stuff like that to play along to, which is pretty cool. I was actually going to start a backing track channel before I started this channel, but I decided guys like this were going to do a much better job of it than me, so I left it to them and started this channel instead. So yeah, pretty cool. Check that out as well. I'll put the links in the description. But today we're going to check out this new track. It's called Modal Metal. I think that's the name of the track, yeah. As I say, he's got all the scales and stuff up on the screen as well. So if you're a guitar player, you'll get a bit of a lesson. So let's check this out. Yeah. Pretty crazy. You can hear the bass nicely in this mix as well. It's got a good grind to it. I don't know if he did all the bass and stuff as well. Some crazy scales. Cool. Good sound to it. Nice. Oh, there you go. That one just ended a bit weird there at the end with the drums. Cool. Well, I enjoyed it. I got a bit of a guitar lesson as well, some nice scales in there, some kind of dissonant scales that sound quite mathy when you play them because they kind of sound dissonant with the riffs that are going underneath it, which sounds good. I really like that. I would say in terms of this music, in terms of the whole piece and composition, the guitaring, you got nothing to worry about there. High level guitaring, the rhythm guitar sounded good as well underneath. The bass guitar sounded excellent actually, really cut through the mix, had a nice clean cut-in tone, but with a grizzle and a rattle of the kind of fretboard, which sounds nice, gives that's almost a distortion sound, but it's not. I think it sounds great when it cuts through the mix, which was nice. The thing that I would focus on really to take this to the next level now would be the drums. And I'm not sure he is really a drummer, and that's probably why the drums are the thing that needs kind of more focus on them now, because they did sound like kind of pre-written MIDI grooves that you would just slot in, that you could maybe use for a backing track or something like that, talking about backing tracks, but that don't really feel quite dynamic or natural like a real drummer. And I would say focus a bit more attention now into your drums. Write some of your own drum patterns if you are using grooves. Don't just copy and paste grooves. You can do that with fills and some parts, but it's always better to get into this and start writing your own MIDI drums and try and think like a drummer if you can, if you've had any experience behind a kit at all, because the drums are just as important, probably more important in my opinion, than the guitars. You've got the guitar in dialed, so now, because you're a one-man band, and the thing I love about one-man bands is the fact that they've got so many tasks at hand and stuff to do, and they've got to do the drums, the bass, the guitars. If they're doing vocals, they've got to do that as well. So that, you know, I really appreciate that you've got to put your hand to all those tasks. But when you're a really good guitarist, you've then got to spend some time, doing the drums, or sometimes doing the bass as well. I'd say the bass was absolutely fine in this as well. So my advice to you now would be spend some time, rather than worrying about your guitars and scales and things like that, because you've got that dialed, knock a third of the time off that you're spending on the guitar and add a third of that time onto doing some drum stuff. Because if you can get more natural sounding drums, if you can get more interesting sounding drums and kind of custom drums to fit your music, you'll really step the whole piece, the whole composition up, because it'll feel more natural, and it'll just, the drums will fit the track much more better. It won't be just kind of a default drum beat, sorry. So that would be my advice on this. Your guitaring's great. It takes a lot of practice and, shredding away to get to that level. I know that. So I'm very impressed with all of that kind of things. But when you're a one-man band, it's not just about the guitars or the bass or whatever, or even the drums. You've got to think about everything. So my advice now would be, because you've ticked the boxes of the bass and the drums, the bass and the guitar, is to just spend a bit more time on your drums to make sure that they really fit the piece of music, the guitars and the piece of music that you're writing, and that they feel natural. They're not all just the same velocity, and there's some natural drumness to there. So very cool. Thanks for getting on board with the channel and sending your music over, giving us a bit of a guitar lesson as well. Very, very cool. And hopefully we'll see some more of your stuff going forward as well, because this is his debut release, and when it's your debut release, doesn't matter who you are, you're always going to be able to get better from there on out, and that's what I really like when we get on board early with bands, because we can start to see them getting better from here on out. And there's been bands over the last 18 months that we've done that with already, where today they're much better compositionally or in the mix or just with their general sound than they were 18 months ago. And I think in 18 months time, if we're still getting submissions from this guy, we'll be saying exactly the same thing about him as well. Super dope. So hope you're having a good day today, guys. That's going to be it for today. We'll see you around. If you want to make a submission yourself and let me talk about your music, head over to the website. All the links are in the description for that. Otherwise, we'll just see you tomorrow for some more cool bands. See you around. Bye.